Welcome to Violin Adventures number 262. We're continuing work on our late 1800s violin. Okay, here we are on this repair, and we'll see if the ribs have straightened out a bit. Yes, very nice. I'm going to take these blocks off. They're straight. They were curled before, and they're still curled a little bit, but I think this will do the trick. Yes. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is warm up the hot hide glue, and then we're going to have to just really work with it. The ribs here are loose up to the blocks, so I'm going to work with it to see if I can get it to go back. But it should be easier now that the ribs are straightened a bit. And then while the glue is heating up, we can have a look at the top here. And we'll put a couple cleats right here where the seam was open. But I don't think there should be any trouble because this was open due to moisture. And now that's all gone. So we'll just cleat it to make sure it stays good. And I'm just checking the thickness. It's nice. It's a good thickness. So everything is good on that. Okay, the glue is hot. And what I'm thinking is to just put in the block and glue it nice and solid right where it needs to be, and then we'll go from there. We may only just do one rib at a time. We'll see. The right side is I think going to go back, the right rib, but the left rib is very unruly. In fact, it's without the block on it, it's going back to its other twisted shape. We've got the glue heating up, and we're going to take these clamps off. And I'll show you what I'm dealing with here. So here's the ribs. You can see how they're bent out of shape. I'm going to work one side at a time. I'm going to work with this side here, gluing it into place. And then when that's good and dry, I think I'll start on the other side. So that's the plan anyway. We'll see what really happens. But in the meantime, I'm going to take down the cleats. The best thing here, I think, is to just be patient, let this one side dry, and then we can work the next side. Okay, we're going to take these clamps off and see how to work the other rib on. Okay, one side is on. It looks like we can glue this other side, and it's going to go back really nicely. So I'm going to get the glue heated up. All right, we're going to work on this rib here, getting this to lay in to where it goes. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm happy with how this went back. And it looks like it's going back into place. We've got this back onto the block. So I'm going to clean up the glue here and let this dry. And then we'll get ready to close it back up. I'm going to take the clamps off and secure the lining. There's a couple of linings that are loose. Okay, that went together nicely. So now I'll get the glue hot again and we can push these linings back in place, and then I think we'll be ready to close it up. Okay, before we close this up, the very end of the base bar is up, separated from the top. So I need to glue that first before we close it up. Okay, we've got our hot hide glue here, and we're ready to close this up. So I've glued down the base bar where it was sticking up. Okay, I've been working on fitting a little tiny piece of purfling in this design where it's missing. And I've cut it and thinned it down, and now it's just hard to get it in, so I'll turn the camera on and we'll see if we can get it in together. Okay, now I've had a little trouble with it being too thick. I'm trying to thin it when it's this small. And then these little things stick to your fingers, and now it should go in there, but I'm going to see if I have a little tweezers. See, it's sitting there, but it's not going into, it's not going down into it. It's just sitting on top. So that means it's too thick. Okay, well, okay, I got the piece of purfling in by squeezing it just a little bit, since it was just a little thick. So we're gonna let that dry and then we can take it down, but it's finally in. Next, a little work on the new violin. Okay, here the base bar is in here. Now we need to shape it. Get a beautiful shape on there. All right, that's even better. Well, we've got to get a label in here. We've got to seal the inside. Got to do all the little bits before we close it up. Time for a story. Okay, I've come across another book which I think will be interesting, and this is a book written on Paganini. The title of the book, though, is not all about Paganini. It's Biographical Notice of Niccolo Paganini, with an analysis of his compositions and a sketch of the history of the violin. And this is written by F.J. Fatis, who was born in 1784 and died in 1871. So there's no date on the book, but I would assume it was written around 1850. Because it's written on Paganini, who died in 1840. And this is a biographical sketch. Now, Paganini lived the same time as this man who wrote the book. Paganini lived from 1782 to 1840, and this man outlived him 30 years. So I kind of value reading a book that was written by someone who lived at the same time. Now, another reason why I value this one is because we know all the rumors that have been circulated regarding Paganini. And so I'm going to read you just a little bit, and this is in the middle of the book, and then we'll go back to the beginning next time. But it says, with a people so imaginative as the Italians, so extraordinary a looking person as Paganini, his wondrous talent and the eccentricity of his mode of life naturally conduced to superstitious ideas and the belief in the supernatural. Many believed he had entered into a compact with the devil. And it goes on and describes a lot of the stories that were written about him, which kind of detracted from his skill as a player. So it says here, Paganini was deeply affected by these rumors, which not only detracted from his position, but tended to render his talent valueless. So, in order to try to help all these rumors which were going around, he published a letter written from his mother to himself. And I'll read that to you this time. It says, Dearest son, at last, after 7 months have elapsed since I wrote to you at Milan, I had the happiness of receiving your letter on the 9th current through the intermediary of Signor Agnino, and was much rejoiced to find that you were in the enjoyment of good health. I am also delighted to find that, after your travels to Paris and London, you propose visiting Genoa expressly to embrace me. I assure you, my prayers are daily offered up to the Most High, that my health may be sustained, also yours, so that my desire may be realized. My dream has been fulfilled, and that which God promised me has been accomplished. Your name is great, and art, with the help of God, has placed you in a position of independence. Beloved, esteemed by your fellow citizens, you will find in my bosom and those of your friends that repose which your health demands. The portraits which accompanied your letter have given me great pleasure. I had seen in the papers all the accounts you give me of yourself. You may imagine, as your mother, what an infinite source of joy it was to me. Dear son, I entreat you to continue to inform me of all that concerns you, for with this assurance I shall feel that it will prolong my days, and be convinced that I shall still have the happiness of embracing you. We are all well. In the name of all your relations, I thank you for the sums of money you have sent. Omit nothing that will render your name immortal. Eschew the vices of great cities, remembering that you have a mother who loves you affectionately and whose fondest aspirations are your health and happiness. She will never cease her supplications to the All-Powerful for your preservation. Embrace your amiable companion for me and kiss little Achille. Love me as I love you, your ever affectionate mother, Teresa Paganini. That's such a great letter. And next time we'll go back to the beginning of the book and read, starting out with a little history of the violin. Freddie wants to chat.
Hi, I'm Freddie, and I saw my boss and her friend Lauren. They came over this week because they get together once a year to do something, and this year they did some stained glass projects. So here they are.
Here we're putting the foil on the pieces, getting them ready to solder. This one is freshly soldered.
Well, thanks for sending in your projects, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
The Hebrew Minute. Gam zot me'em Hashem zavaot. Yatza'ah hifli et sa. Higdil tushya. This also comes forth from the Lord of hosts, or the commander of all things, who is wonderful in counsel and excellent in working. If you know where this is found, please leave it in the comments below. This is it, Friday afternoon. It's very windy, and can you believe it's in the 60s, mid-60s today, and it will be for a few days. So we're enjoying the warmer weather. Let's go in and see what's happening in the shop. Here in the shop, we've got two projects that are going on. Here's our new violin. And over this week, I've been working on the scroll, getting it to look really pretty. We've got the label ready to go into our violin here. And then we can close this up. So here's our violin from the late 1800s. We've got it closed up. There's a couple places where the purfling was out, so I've put that in. And we'll match the color, and then we can set this one up. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your wonderful comments, your thumbs up, and to the new subscribers. And until next time, bye.